Hello. Let me get everything up and running. There's going to be a lot of initial, it's going to look very different when I lift the curtain. So I'm going to try not to jump scare you with this. But I've done a lot since yesterday's stream. And I think we might be closer to what we need the final to look like. I haven't skipped too far ahead. It's just going to look like I did. All right, let's lift the curtain. And so a lot of what changed was color. I did some experimenting. So since yesterday, we imported the scene over to Blender and promptly realized that on import, a lot of things become more difficult to work with. The shader is there and ready to go, but I cannot get it to allow me to have a lot of individual color control without really splitting hairs. So we're going to get the colors as close as we can to the final look here in MagicaVoxel. And this is what we're seeing. And then we're going to pull it over to Blender and start animating that little bat and the magical book. And we're going to put a little cat there. And yeah, so join me, won't you, as we fiddle with color until it's just there enough that I'm like, okay, maybe we can fix it in post and not have to target it in Blender and separate it out. Something to know for when I go into the next project is get everything in the scene closer to where you want it to be before the import. And so everything's kind of become like pastel gothy, I guess. Is that the close enough comparison point? I'm just seeing something that bothered me a second ago where this isn't flush and I really want it to be. So while that is bothering me, there. I wanted a little bit of like notch into the wood, but not anything too crazy. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I think I want to kind of highlight some of these cuts. Like that, you know? So let's just work on wood texture for a moment while we're here. Hi, Zergling. How's it going? There, just a little bit of wood grain. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. That's a little closer. What else have we got that we haven't really brought into the palette yet? I guess that coffee liquid. And jump into that. Not the chair. And let's just borrow this color. Paint the face. And we're good to go. All good, all good. Is this kind of where I want it to be yet? Maybe we could push a few more colors somewhere. Separate the colors of these books out again. I know I tried to unify a whole bunch of things onto a smaller color palette and just like keep it in this area so that I would have less to pick apart when I got it into Blender. And that didn't work out. So let's separate that back out. I have a bit of books, but I think that's from over there. I'll just use this. Shelf books. And what's that? Copy that over to here a few times. And I'll just try a few different colors. And we can mess with the slider when we get into the render view. Oh, not you. There we go. Let's bring this color around. Seems good. That purple is too lost on the wood. So maybe a much brighter book. No, I kind of want to stay in the same range as the others. I think that's good enough. All right. And now maybe the frames of the pictures could be a little separated from the fireplace. I don't want the depth of field. Okay. Let me try the silver. Certainly pops it forward. Maybe it's just the one that's touching the edge there that I'm actually bothered by. I'll try to wiggle this around a little so that these dark colors are not necessarily touching so much. How's that? Okay. I think I'll have to actually push these faces back out. Not something I terribly want to do. But for consistency's sake. I was seeing some inconsistent shadow. It was starting to bother me. There, like that. Hiya, Defiant. Spoopy Room's looking great. Thank you. Yeah, I had to make a lot of color decisions off camera. But I think that it was for the best in the end that I did this part in MagicaVoxel instead. Big sip of tea, sorry. But yeah, how are you doing today? You sculpt on that chair just a little bit. Is my mirror off? Or just on the wrong axis? Yep, wrong axis. That's a little bit cushier looking. Hope I had slightly less gremlins today. Yes, I am not touching any settings. I'm not wandering off and trying any crazy experimental things today. We are just no more gremlins, no more technical difficulties. We are so close to the end of this render. So help me. We are going to make this happen. Let me just grab this little shadow color and add a little bit of fake depth. Lay around the back like that. Nobody's going to see that part. It just makes me feel better. Same with this. Just makes me feel better. Maybe I can paint a little bit of like little cushion buttons. These. Like that. Is it too much? No, it's just too small. I think we can do it, but we got to do it bigger. And try these colors a little bit bigger. Is that like too far sunken in to the chair? Thank you, Eiffel Jelly Bean. I think we can get away with that. Oh, but now the pattern touches. No. Fine. I'll just scoot this down. Don't think I can get away with another button in the middle there. Yeah, no. Let's see if I can get away with just that much. I think it works. It looks a smidge oversized compared to the chair. Okay. Like the buttons are too big or the shadow detail too big. We can try to shrink it and run you out of distance with the normal lighting. It's okay. Yeah, I don't want to have too many tightly packed little bitty details. So oversizing some things might be okay. Like this is currently not as good looking as this is, I think. So let's just make that a bit more consistent. And I make it bigger or do the same 4-button pattern. I don't know. Okay. And space it out some more. I think we can get away with that much space. Let's try it. Maybe I bring that top row down by just 1. And the buttons. How's that? I think I'm okay to leave it at that. Does look a bit better. Okay, cool. I'm really squinting my eye at the moment to make sure everything is like within the same ballpark of saturation and value that it needs to be. I think it might be. I think it might be. I'm thinking. Any other detail we could squeeze? This blue repeats in just a couple of places, but if I could just get it like over here in one place, that might be nice. It might be nice. Let me try to copy that onto the fireplace color. I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, I'm not happy with any of these. Okay. Maybe I'll just make it a bit more saturated. I think I can get away with that. And I'll take all of the picture frames and try to separate them one more time. Just to bring that blue over to that end as well. I think that'll do it, really. Okay. I'm gonna save it. And let's try to import it and get it set up. Fingers crossed. As we get set up. This is our shader. This is our scene. And this is the file to import. All right, so we want to, I know this doesn't work as intended, but I'm going to try it again anyway. We're not going material per color again because we'll be here for a million years. We're going for vertex color. And that might be all right. All right, fingers crossed, and we pray. Gonna take a sip of tea while I brace for impact. The computer is screaming. That's usually a good sign. Okay. We're in the scene. Everything's fine. RZ 90? Yes. I'm gonna scale it down. And get it set up in the middle here. That'll probably do it. Take this out of the scene. And then we just start applying the shader. Hopefully. Now that everything is within this one material, I'm going to go into our Softvox shader and copy that. And I'm going to go into our material here, and instead of one by one assigning all of these objects, I'm just going to do this. Boop. Okay, you've already got the right guy chosen, I think, right? You're not giving me that little icon, which worries me a little bit, but so far it looks like it's working. Right? 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 Okay. Gonna bump the strength. Now I can just grab any of these objects to edit the intensity of our shadows. And this is for the ambient occlusion. For shadow intensity, we should just be able to edit this. Yeah, see, this is the control that we wanted yesterday. This is why I was very specific about the one kind of light, so we don't muddy the water with HDRIs and stuff. Have a nice saturated shadow. There. Kind of where I want it to be. I might drop a little backdrop in here, just mesh plane. All right, 90, see, what, 45? Okay. Whoop. And I will just scooch that back here. I don't really want you to have any, like, shadow reception, though. Maybe I can tell just these specific objects not to shadow cast? No, that's not what I'll do. That's not what I'll do. For now, just to have something in the back. I'm going to untick that, and it's still not going to want to show until I increase the strength. I don't want it to affect the lighting of our scene, though. I really just want to put a color in the back without changing anything. That doesn't do anything. Unless that's, I don't know, in here or something. No. Eh, whatever. Is there a way for me to do this without having other shadows? I guess I could just turn the plane on and put it so far in the back that it won't receive anything. RZ 145. Try this one more time. I'm just going to put it so far, far, far away. Like there. See, the shadow's not anywhere we have to worry about. There. Isn't that better? Okay, let me give you I might use vertex colors. Just throw a bunch of cuts into this guy. I should have saved. No, I feel lag. Okay. It wasn't lag. I just didn't have my mouse where I needed it to be. But we will make a save in just a moment, so I don't lose my mind in a minute. And where am I going to save that? Here we go. Cozy, spooky room, new blend. I felt that momentary panic in my soul. Yep. Every time it's like my life flashes before my eyes. Yep, now that I am here, jump into vertex paint mode. And I'm just gonna grab a color, any color. Before I do that, am I on standard? Yes, I am. Okay, good deal. Oh. This, but more saturated and brighter. No. 50 strength like that. Am I crazy? Is it not going to work? The brush is under paint hard. Ugh. Let me think. Why vertex paint? No vertex paint. No. Maybe I can just do that. And there it is. It works. It works. Oh, it works too well. Okay, just gonna erase that. And I don't actually want the noise to happen, so I'll go in here and turn that to 0. And paint again. Still got a bit of noise going on. Why that? No grain. There we go. Nice, smooth vertex paint going like I wanted. More saturation, way more brightness. Maybe even more. More. Okay. I think the thing to work on next is the lack of saturation in our main shader, because this is kind of where I want it to be. Saturation is pushed all the way up though. Is it you? Nope, that's just the AO. Okay, it really only wants to go up to 2, and that's only affecting the shadow anyway. Bumping the saturation of the color itself would require something else. What would it require? I'm thinking. Hi, Pixel Tuner. Thank you. I am getting there with the colors. We're working on it right now. Now I'm trying to get, we went ahead and colored everything in MagicaVoxel and then pulled it in. And then we lost a bit of the saturation, and I'm just trying to get that back. So if I could just take like another one of these, right? And one of these, right? And go like here, right? And the saturation's bumped up, right? How do I? Okay. I put this back into all this. Another mix, I guess. Result into mix shader, and then maybe I'll just pull this over here into here. We're thinking out loud, so hang on while I show us probably how not to do this. This one, right? And then, nope. Nope. Yeah, that's just not it. Okay. It comes back out as a shader. So it has to shader to RGB and then in. Hi, Yade. You like the room? Thank you. Ignore that everything just went dark. Progress is being made. I am not a shader person, but we are trying to figure out how to bump the saturation of all of this vertex paint essentially, and then plug it back in. I'm thinking that I'm heading in the wrong direction here. I don't know though. I feel like this is on the right track. Like, ignore this for a minute. If I just... See? We got our saturation bump. So that is... Yes. I just have to find out where in all of this to put this. Hmm. To RGB. Bloop. And then I put this into, and then I put that into, and then I put all of that into. Hey, hey, wait. Yeah. Okay. Now, it's dark. It's dark and oversaturated and needs probably more contrast as well. Thank you, Pixel Tuner. I am just throwing things at the wall. Okay. There's a way to get contrast. Yeah, here we go. Bloop. Okay. Bring that back down because that's getting pretty gnarly. And just fiddle with this for a little bit. And a bit more. No, not that much. Can I more finely do that? Yes. Shift key. Okay. I have a feeling that I need to pick one of these two and not touch the other. Like, I think I'm just going to confuse myself later if I use both value and bright, if they're kind of doing the same thing. Anyway. All right, value way. That's as high as it's going to let me, actually. I can sense myself getting lost in the sauce of this for way too long. Let me think if there's a better way to do this. Just backtrack a little bit. Can I force it higher? I can. Oh, it'll actually slide all the way up to 5. Well, that is closer to what I wanted. Kinda. We want cartoony, pastel gothy. That's the goal. I'm realizing now how desaturated everything looked in here. It's so easy for me to lose track. I can probably close this by now. I think this is part of what I'm not happy with. Everything else is starting to be there and be quite unified. These are too muted, the trim. So maybe we can attack that more directly. That's a lot of Vertus. Let's just not look at that for a bit. How do I want to do this though? I think I'm going to just manually grab the faces, assign them another material so I can keep it separate. No, I can just edit it on the whole, right? Maybe I can reuse this. And then I'll manually grab some of those other faces. These little details here, right? And get them where I want them. So this is too saturated. Bring that down. Set it again. Now it's almost white. Okay. Okay. A little more saturated. Try again. I'm not a fan of either of these because I just want to move it a little into the purple, but I always get it a little bit too wrong when I use this one. Now it's way too close to the wallpaper. What is the solution here? Oh, overcompensate how dark it is? Wait a minute. I can kind of mess with that. It's a little too close to the furniture, but it's getting there. I wander back towards pink a little bit. Nope. All right. Blue. Bit of a harsh separator. That blue, I think, needs to exist in more elements already, though, so I'm not terribly against it. Let's just go more towards that almost cyan that we were using in the rug and windows. Not that far. Kind of there. I'm so trying to wind up where the windows are, and I'm not getting there at all. Closer. Closer. Close enough? Okay, let me jump into edit mode and try to grab this little bit of detail that we had. Nope. Why does it always grab way too many undo steps? Okay, and then it dips in, goes down by 2 voxels, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By 6. Three, 4, 5, 6. No. There. Doesn't seem very square. Oh, it kind of goes all the way up to the 1 voxel edge here. That's going to be a long straight line. I'm going to ignore it for a bit. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. This is probably not the way to do this. I wonder if you would use the voxel modifier. You could do the same within Blender. Somewhat. I have gone down this road. I think there's a kind of blindness that comes from like say low poly modeling something, and then you turn on the voxel modifier and it like never matches resolution to everything in the scene. Either everything in the scene is under the same voxel modifier, and while you're modeling you are making something that would contain jaggies if it were directly converted into voxels that would then need to be cleaned up. And I kept flipping back and forth between like wiggling one edge around just to try to get the voxel modifier to cut it at the right place. And I just got frustrated and gave up. I find the same amount of frustration though with attempts to do like pixel things through Blender as well. It like always introduces jaggies that I can't perfectly control. So it just always looks like I'm going to have an amount of cleanup work that is more than if I had just done it elsewhere. if I were to say something that might like improve this workflow, if that voxel importer is also open source, I think it would be really cool if they were able to import colors both as separate materials, but also as color groups, so that this would work, and I wouldn't have to like rip it from BSDF. And then like use shader to RGB. I don't know. It's probably just my weird niche use case though that has brought me down this road. But some better organization on import would allow me to just like jump in edit mode, grab a face, Control L to grab all similar connected, or yeah, do this one by one. Now, do I want to jump into vertex paint? Can assign those meshes to a different shader though. I have a lot going on. What I was doing after the stream yesterday was I wanted to import all of them with their own material, and it was able to import them all with their own material. And then I started plugging them in to the shader here, and the toon shading broke down, and I don't know why. Like it works if I'm using this, but not just these. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense really. Let me save this and I can show you. I saved it. And I was like, not this way either. Okay. So it separated all of the colors into their own separate materials that I then copied the shader that we built over into, and had to, instead of using those color groupings, I tried to plug this into all of it. And the light acts like this. It's very harsh. Same setup as the other file. But all the shadow is like pure black, and I didn't know how to get it back. No, that ain't it. Yeah, okay. Factor, that should do it. This should be what controls like how saturated or how the value of the shadows are, right? But it doesn't do it. It's not doing it. I don't know. Let me jump back over to our woo. It looks so saturated now. Do I still have the? Okay, thank goodness I do. Good deal. Now, make a new material and assign that to that. I'm gonna call that trim shadow. I'm just going to jump over to here and grab all of this into our trim shadow, paste it, delete that, and then I should be able to just assign the color of it. I don't think I had to do that to do this part. No. Wait. Why? There. Yeah, I don't think that... Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that was the way either. Up a little bit, saturation up a little bit. And do that again. Nope. I think I am just about ready to leave it alone. Stop touching it. I'll just duplicate this guy, actually. RZ 90. Nope. See, negative 90. And can I really quickly flip you? Nope. Mirror. This way? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Maybe there is a simpler solution technically if you divide all colors to one texture. It could work with much less calculations, and I would have to dive in how that program exports those materials. Yeah. I make you just jump to an edge. There. There. Not touching it anymore. Whatever that was, that's what it is. And now on the whole, I think this is happening a little too harshly. At what point did I lose the light? I didn't lose the light. I'm just not in rendered view. There's our shadow. It's just very faint. Oh, let me take a look at it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Oh, that needs to happen much more intensely than that. Is it because it's happening so early on? That it's being affected by all of the other bump? Can I force this higher? And force this lower? Nope. Okay, so if I took all of this and put it somewhere else, would that be better? How do I do this? Okay. If I put you earlier on, and then I don't know, what if I just like feed this individually into these things? Maybe that'll work. Like this. Blink. Nope. There. Okay, okay. And then you are probably okay to leave alone. You're just the AO. Yes. Yes. Okay. Fingers crossed. That is what I wanted to have happen. And maybe I can push a little bit. Oh goodness, I could be here infinitely. 0.2 value 4. Okay, so that is working. It's just funny to look at. About 0.15, like a happy middle ground. Okay, 1.25, 1.27. Oh, we could be here forever. I hope that y'all enjoy fiddling with color sliders. Okay. Let me fiddle with the light direction. Now that everything's in a state that is some kind of acceptable. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Trying to make any tangents look intentional. I don't want my gaps in light to be too small. I don't know. Maybe I should just lean into it. It's just kind of makes the chair feel a little lost against. It doesn't feel very lifted if the light is too head on. So I'll just go full on leaning this up. Like that. Okay, give it a save. Let me start messing, finally, maybe, finally, with the book. First thing I notice, I'm going to have to get these parented up. Nope. Oh, I think they're parented to that empty. Yep. Control P. Was it like Alt P? Clear parent. There we go. Nah. Oh, your scale broke too. What? Can I apply your scale and fix, or apply all? And then when I do this, Alt P, clear parent. Okay. Good to go. Hiya, Jojo. No worries. Anytime to come hang out is fine. I hope you're doing well. Up to anything fun today? Control P. Good deal. Turn the snapping off. Control P. Object. These are probably going to need to do the same thing, actually. These little frames. Alt P. Clear. I wonder if I can just show and hide them as needed. I think that's going to be the way to do this. Okay. Or Y, perhaps. GY until you are close enough to the place. I need you to be. Our whole animation is there. And now I can't see anything. Can I see better if I do? Nope. Here. Grab all of these. You're doing good, and just more graphics? That's all right. I like that last drawing you showed me. Think your character's really coming along. Control P, get all that onto the object. And gonna try to remember to grab by the book spine always. From here on, this is going to be a kind of free agent. It's not operating within voxel space. Just going to RX 45, other way. RY 45, other way. No. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Like negative 35. Oh man. There's no clean way to do this, huh? Anyone gonna notice if it's not like perfectly ever so? Okay, try this. Negative 45. 45. No. Is that perfect? Jojo, if you bring out that ruler, I'm gonna smack you with it. I'm not. I'm going to be very tempted to. Okay, and lift it a little bit. Whoa. Nope. Nope. What? Oh, I don't know. Don't look at my tries. You don't need to know that. Oh, I'm wandering way off base. So I'm just going to make it float up and down like this, right? And then the pages will go flap, 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 flap. Right? Makes sense. Save it. Oh, and the other thing, you. And get you parented up as well. Control A, all of your transforms. And then Alt P, break you off from the... No. What? No. Wait. Just... You. I think you're the source of this headache. I'm going to apply all of your transforms. Okay? And then going to go over here and clear your parent. No, not like that. You to you. Yes. You to you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Parent. Yep. And yes. Yep. Other things that I know are going to sneak up on me later. I'm gonna need the 3D cursor, I think, to save on sanity. I'm just gonna bring you out to here for now. Now, 3D cursor. Okay. You, there you are. Where did he go? I'm going to change your origin to the 3D cursor. And I don't think you did what I told you to do, because I don't see it. I don't see your origin point at all. But it looks like you're doing what you're supposed to. Am I crazy? Where's your origin point? I'm supposed to see a little orange dot. You're going to have to send your solution to I am open. I am so open to ideas. I might not get around to them for this particular project, but workflow improvements are so welcome. You ate the origin point, sorry. Why did you do this? It's like one pica large. It's not even filling. Wait, not there. Here. Set origin, 3D cursor. No, I'm not imagining it. I'm supposed to... Is it in here? Yep, I got it back. It looked tasty. Alrighty. And you... I will deal with that one later. Actually, I can deal with it now. Origin to geometry. And I'll just send you back into place. Why do I keep doing that? GX. There we go. Good to go. I might as well be seeing this in color. But this part, I don't need it to... Oh, not that way. Ready cursor. Bam. Set that origin. And you... Set that origin. And move you back into place. There we go. And now we got a bat. We got a little bat, and the wings flap. See? No rig needed. I'm not going to do all that right now. me turn off the snapping now. I don't need that. How do I want this to go down? Maybe he like flies up out of there, like this way. Whoosh. Like every now and then a bat or two goes flip, 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 flip. See, 90. I think that looks kind of cute like that. He's not clipping into the scene or anything, are you? Okay. Good deal. Now you can face the camera. No. RZ45. Like that. The flappy wings funny. I'm glad. Maybe it'll be as funny and cute when we actually animate it. We can hope. Can I do transparency, like a transparent light shape, in a way that won't drive me insane? Because I want those fairy lights to glow. I want the laptop screen to glow. And I want the windows to be like casting light beams. I did think about just manually drawing this part in post. But it might look neat if I do it here. Skillfully. I just don't know how to do it skillfully. Okay, if I were to try this, I would, what would I do? I'm stalling. Hold on. And say I just drop this guy on it. And what do I need to assign it a vertex color? I don't know if that's what it's missing or not. We'll see. Doesn't seem to be it. I don't think I want to use this anyway because I need it to be transparent. I need to not touch this. Let's get rid of that. Make a new thing. Scale it down. And get it to where the laptop is. Probably about that big. Like that? Okay. Because I don't actually think I want you to be a light source. You're going to give me more shadows to worry about, and I don't want to worry about no more shadows right now. All that I want is, I think, to make you transparent and bigger and have no light data, right? I don't want this to be darker than that. How would I do that? Maybe just an ounce of emission would get rid of. Oof. Okay, well that messes with my opacity, so. I don't know. Is that... It might look better in the render, it might just be noisy now. Okay, let me do this the actual way that I wanted to do this. You are going to go here. I need to think with my whole brain right now. DC, and then GX, X. What are you fighting with? There. Okay. Now we have that, and I just want to grab one face, this outward face, and go like that. And maybe not like that, actually. Hold on. What did I just do? What did I just do? Okay, I'm going to ignore whatever that was. And grab this out to here, and then down. Like that. I just don't like the noisiness. It's got to be the samples, right? If I just, I don't know, 150? I don't know, 300. It kind of cleans up. Yeah, okay, it is the sampling. It will look smooth when I do the other thing. Is this the way it should be done? Probably not. But it kind of gives a cool effect to me, personally, for the moment. I might hate it later, but we'll deal with that later. Light, not in all caps, light object. Okay, next thing I want to deal with, you. X. I want you to be uncomfortably staring at the camera. Oh, that's weird. You don't want to... You know what? I don't care enough to actually make sure it's so perfectly grounded. Who's gonna know? How did I have this laid out in my sketch? Where's my tablet with my sketch? I had a few little arrangement notes to leave myself. All right, I had 2 skulls, 1 little bone, and the little bone is kind of off to the side over here, like this. Like that, as if it were leaning off of the scene a little bit. Fine, you won't stare at the camera. You're going to stare this way. A little bit away. And I'm going to duplicate you over here. And you're staring off that way. There we go. What other setup did I need to think about? Oh, right. I'm going to get one more of these. And I'm just going to kill all of your rotations for a second. And RZ 180. Here's something I thought would be a kind of cool little animation if I had like a... Oh, he's a little bit too big. Like a little skull pops into the portrait. He goes blah, 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 and then he goes away. And maybe he like looks around and then slides back out. Okay. And other things I wanted to incorporate were, oh, the plants. Right. I wanted to make a little particle system plants. I might have to do this part off camera though, because I don't know how I want this to behave and how to make it behave statically while everything else is animating. So this might be something to look up tutorials on and then come back to on the next stream. Okay, so we're not going to touch the particle plants, but I will experiment with that and let you know my discoveries next time around. Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. All right. I think we've established everything I wanted to, and we can start animating. What am I forgetting? The cat. Oh, the cat. I didn't import the cat. Can I do that on top of this? Hold on. We're going to save this. And see if we can import the cat. I might have to fix the colors of the cat because they no longer belong in the scene. Unless... We'll try it. We'll try it and see. And I'm going to go with material per color. There's only like 5 colors, so this is okay, I think. Here we go. Oh, I've already applied the scale change. We'll just estimate it. Mm. Hmm. If nothing else, we can get it blocked out the way I wanted it to be. Ah, yes, the fabled caterpillar. There's a plan here. Just let me cook. Or I might make it lay down. I'm starting to get flashbacks to rigging with the last place I worked. Okay, okay. You should be further apart then. I'm gonna kill your rotations. I like that. Yeah, I think laying down the cat might be a bit better. Thinking of it like this is not the worst. But also not ideal. It's just too much going on in too small a space. Okay, see how far back I can get you. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Make you a bit wider and angle you inward, I think. A little bit like that. at least until it connects a little bit. And I don't know, it's not the worst. I'm not doing this very cleanly, but I'm also not hoping to spend a lot of time on this. Goodbye, all of our painted cushion details. Not looking terribly curled yet. There we go. Not you. Just these parts here. I think you should be like two extra segments, one pointed down, one pointed out. Okay. Big pile of shapes. Definitely worth cleaning up, but it might have to be done off camera at another time, or we're going to spend a lot of time on just that. Can I bring these paws a little further away from the face? And I think I'm going to have to change the cat's head to a sleepy face. But then, when all that is done, I can make the tail hang off of the side here. Right, and then it'll like curl down. And then I can animate a little tail flick happening. That's the plan. The cat paws and the computer mouse are almost the same shape. I mean, I think they are. I just painted them a little differently. Knowing me, I might have just copied them. No, I think I sculpted them, and I just sculpted them the same way. It's getting somewhere though. Thanks. I can see, I'm starting to see it a little bit better. I'm going to leave the cat there as is and clean up a couple of the shapes I've sculpted to be more in line with how this thing is going to be posed. And bring it back in. I might be able to reduce the resolution of the cat as well. Another thing I'm thinking of is whether this should be 3D at all. Given how little it's affected by the light, right? It might as well be like flat. I don't know. I might have to think on that. But it is causing these like inconsistent, jaggy shapes off to the side that I don't necessarily want. I like the idea of the moon having a little bit of depth. Other than that, I don't know. You know what I could do while I'm here? I forgot about this. We gotta set this guy up to be open. Might have to jump into... No, hold on. That's not gonna work. Dang it. Can I make that apply to just the thing? You know what? It only takes me a second to do this. Go away for a second. Bam. An origin to 3D cursor. Not you. Right. Both of you. Control A. All your transforms. Okay? Don't move. No, not you. Why is it applying to you? You should be over here. I'm selecting you and telling you to set your origin to the 3D cursor. Am I insane? Thanks for hanging out, Jojo. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. And I'll see you next time. Show me your drawings when you're done with it. I am very confused. How? Okay, so I'm going to select you. You are where you're supposed to be, as you're supposed to be. I'm just going to break your parent. You don't need to be parented to anything anymore anyway. That only ever gives me trouble. Now, origin, 3D cursor. Stop. And then apply all your transforms. Cancel. That scares me. What? Apply all. Make single user. What? I just want to set the origin to 3D cursor and not for some reason lose the other gate. What is happening? Okay, what if I just tried to do it to you? No. Well, your origin is correct, at least over here. Yours isn't. Yours is. Okay. Your origins are where they need to be. Just for some reason, it also makes one of you fly off into the distance. That's fine. Totally fine. I can make it go back to normal. No problem. Okay. Not you. You. Okay, very close, almost there. Maybe one of them could be shut? If so, it would have to be the one that's farther off so we can see the firewood. Like that. And I think I need consistency though. So I'm going to go ahead and open both of them at least that far. I don't like that detail being that packed tight though. Can I just... full on 180? 180? But then it kind of smacks against that trim. Okay. Up to here. Is that suitable? There, now we can see our fireplace. So this is all of the book. And you can hang out here while I say good day to everyone. So, next mission. Look up how I want to do these particles in the plants. And then next time we meet, we will animate that cat, that bat, that book, the moon, some sparkles, and the fire. All of that sounds doable, right? I think we can do it. I'm going to just leave on a high note on hubris and foolhardy confidence. We can totally do that next stream. All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope you'll have an excellent rest of your day. And I will try to see y'all tomorrow, but if I don't, I will definitely see y'all again on Tuesday. Had to switch to Yod stream. No worries. I hope Yod had a good stream. Hope you had a good time. Yeah, see you later. Bye Defiant. Bye Pixel. Bye everybody. Have a good one.